Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to Point of View. I'm your host, Natalia, filling in for our moderator, Shakia, and joining us today are our guest co-hosts, Shirley Dorr and Willie Montague. Willie Montague. Welcome back, Willie.
Thank you.
Listen, I was jacking you all up today. We have the latest tea to close out the week. Coming up, we're sending condolences to those affected by the California wildfires, and we're taking a look into some of the conspiracy theories. Plus, the verdict is in. Donald Trump, President-elect Donald Trump, let me correct myself, will not be serving any jail time as if we thought that he was.
Right.
But later in Girlfriend Guide, we'll find out why Ron DeSantis prefers babies over bachelor's degrees. So grab a seat and join the discussion. Of course, you're watching POV. As California wildfires continue to burn down communities, our hearts go out to all of those impacted. But for those of you who may not know, there are hundreds of prison inmates that are on the front lines fighting these massive blazes for as little as $5 to $10 a day, with some making less than $1 an hour for 24-hour shifts. Now, even though they're prisoners, they are still risking their lives while earning wages that many say don't reflect the danger or the value of work. Just the thought of that, I was upset. One, because I have family members that have served time before. And to know that, you know, a lot of times inmates are not even like treated as people, like human beings. Like to have someone fighting the fires, I don't know if you guys have, you know, saw, like, I mean, the embers, the wind, like, I mean, literally some of the videos that I saw, like, looked like these people were legit in hell. And to imagine, like, you know, fighting that in real time for $1?
I'm trying to figure out why they sending the inmates over there. Like, what happened to the actual firefighters?
Well, they're all deployed.
Well,
all of them?
No.
All of the firefighters are deployed?
No.
All? Okay, so where are the firefighters at? Like, the people who are actually trained to go and fight fires, why do we just have...
They fired them.
Prisoners?
They were asked months ago to use the where the water is to help with these wildfires. They cut the budget for the fire department, the mayor of LA, as well as the governor Newsom as well. So now you come with this widespread fire. So they're having to use people that are everyday people, or even the prisoners, because they cut the fire department. So it is the responsibility of the elected officials to take care of the residents, and they failed in that area. Now,
so they go get prisoners to do it?
Now, as far as that goes, I don't believe it should be long 24-hour shifts at $1 or $10, whatever. But I want us to realize it's twofold here. I mean, I like what I'm about to say. But the taxpayers' dollars is what pays for prisons. And so where would the money come from to continue to have to pay them if there's not even money there to pay the actual fire department? And so I think that's where it's coming in. Who's going to pay these people their fair actual wages that they deserve as if it was a fire department? We don't have it. These people are inmates for a reason.
Right. But did they also
what does that mean, inmates for a reason?
They're serving time. They're there for a reason. So we can't get to the point of saying we're going to pay them $30, $40
whatever that
hour.
reason is, though, it doesn't really? Neglect the fact that people there are people who are actually trained to, like police officers. I don't know if they're trained the exact same way as firefighters, but they are trained to some capability to handle situations like this.
Responders.
So why don't we have those people on the front lines instead of prisoners?
Because they have to do their job.
No, what it is to have those people killed.
I just told you, ask the Democrat leaders of California. When the Republican leadership asked the Democrats to do it because Republicans asked, they did not want to do it. Now the people of California are suffering at the hands of the Democrat leadership.
And they just throw anybody out there.
Yeah,
that is so disgusting.
I do understand, you know, what you're saying, Willie. I'm not the most politically correct person, right?
That's why I said, well, y'all about to trump.
No, but I understand what you were saying, and thank you for clarifying that according to your understanding. Where I am, a little bit lost at is one, we constantly go back to the fact that there are so many people that are falsely in prison.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so then to have someone that may have been accused in this corrupt justice system and then have them out there
risking their life
for $1.
I think all of that goes out the window when it's an emergency, though.
But this is why America puts so much money into prison systems, which mostly incarcerate black and brown people, so that they can get this free labor. This is slavery, period, point blank.
I agree.
Yeah, we haven't stepped.
We're not even sure who really started these fires.
Right, but what? Oh, Lord, that's First of all, we're talking about the money. What do we think would be a reasonable amount, in our opinion, for these prisoners to be paid for their contributions?
The same amount or half of what these firefighters be making when they go out there.
At least half.
There's no way.
That's fair. That's fair.
There's no. Where's the money going to come from?
The government.
They cut the budget.
What?
For what? To give it to who?
That's the point.
That's what I'm saying. So where is the money
They
going to
cut
come
the money
from?
to listen.
To give it to who? Show me the money.
Exactly. You need to ask the LA mayor
They cut the budget. They let go of some of their firefighters because wildfires
but where's the rest?
It is millions of dollars that were cut out of the budget. And let me tell
It's
you,
just
The rest of the money went to the rest, and I don't want to say
answered.
this because my parents are immigrants and bring them all in. But at the same time, the money went to all these people getting $3,000 and $4,000 and $5,000 a month in food stamps to come over here. Maybe that's why the prisoners can't get no money.
I'm not believing that. I'm not
a lot of these, they was getting it.
We're talking about California, that is one of the most corrupt states because of Governor Newsom. And I think that when you have a person such as him, there's nothing that's going to be able to change.
So we're going to have to switch gears and get into this next topic.
Okay.
Ooh, Lord, this next one is interesting, especially for those who grew up in church. That's me. A Virginia pastor had a woman publicly apologize to the congregation for having a baby outside of wedlock. Let's take a look.
I want to apologize to everybody in here because I am pregnant. I'm sorry, y'all.
We ain't gonna condone your sin now. We ain't gonna do that. Ain't no baby showers going on. That's what you lose out at. When you have a baby out of wedlock, ain't no baby showers. And nobody at this church about a 10.
I want to apologize.
So to me, in my opinion, that looked like one of those good old Kojic Baptist churches.
Apostolic.
Exactly, AME, all of that. I grew up in church, and so this is not foreign to me. I know now with social media and all these other things, people are just getting in an uproar from seeing what been taking place this whole time.
Now there's a camera in front.
Right.
Exactly.
And so to me, I understand on one hand growing up under like that church government, and there just are protocols when you serve in a place and things like that. So what y'all feel about it? Before
I would like to know, is anybody else in that church have had a baby or babies out of wedlock, and did they have to get up and do the same thing and embarrass themselves in front of the whole church and apologize?
Okay, so someone had brought this to me, of course, several times. So in situations like this, it's not just women who have babies out of wedlock. It's anyone who comes in. I've come from a background, I witnessed where it was a man who was doing some things with drugs, and he had to do the same exact thing. So I think that, again, because we are in the age of technology, the camera got in front of it, but this has just been commonplace. Now this is what I would say as myself being a pastor, and would say twofold. Take care of the child, but we don't know, because everybody kept saying, well, what the pastor going? I said, we don't know how many times the pastor may have had this conversation with this particular member where this has been an ongoing thing with her, and this is what it resulted to. Listen, we done told you several times, you need to get in front of the church, because we done took care of the first baby you may have had. And the second part is, in Romans chapter 6, it says, should we continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid. And so there is a place of standard. If you submit yourself to those type of orders, then that's what comes with it. So obviously she submitted herself to it. And that's what I have to say with that. Can't talk against the pastor, because every church has their own order. And
for sure. And I'm not, I'm not Catholic, but in my mind, just on a basic level, it kind of puts me in the mind of like, confessionals type situation.
Yeah.
But like, back in the day, I kind of was, got into church growing up a little bit after this was kind of beginning to phase out. But I also feel like, as extreme as it seems, because so many people were bothered because people do not like accountability, in my opinion, now so many churches have just jumped from one extreme to the next to where it was overly accountable to now there's no accountability to where you bumping your R&B in the parking lot, going to church, smoking hookah in the car, and getting up to lead praise and worship.
Something people don't also realize is that in the church, you're actually like family.
Right.
So at least me growing up Catholic and just growing up in the church in general, we operate like family. I was in that church since I was 7 years old all the way up to I was like 20. That's a lifestyle, right? So growing up in the church, the things that you do together is kind of like a family. You make your decisions. You go in front of your family to talk about the decisions, and whether it's asking for forgiveness or whether it's to, be confrontational and tell the truth, just depends on what church you go to. But this is just common practice.
For sure, yeah. They say it takes a village to raise a child, but what's you guys' take on pastor encouraging the entire congregation to withhold support from the young woman during joyous moments in her pregnancy, like a baby shower? So, the pastor was pretty much saying, like,
ignorant.
We ain't celebrating this.
Ignorant.
But he did state that he knows that her mother will do what the mother does, what your grandparent does. Now, again, I said, I don't know why he said that, but we can only say maybe they've already did something before, and they're saying,
what do it matter if this is a whole nother child? What that got to do with the previous child?
I believe what he's trying to say is that if
she shouldn't keep on having children?
If you're submitting to what is going on in this church and what is supposed to be the model of Christianity, then we just can't condone that. So if you're saying that you on this boat, baby, you got to be on the boat. But anyways, we're going to take it to a commercial break. Right after this, we're going to come back with Girlfriend's Guide and Unpopular Opinion. Don't go nowhere. Stay tuned. You're watching POV. There's no better place to be, of course. Yeah.
What's up, family? Joining us at home and on social media. I have a question for y'all, of course, every single day. And for the table, what is y'all's favorite all-time throwback song?
If we're going throwback favorite song, mine is definitely probably unpopular. It is big in Jamaican culture, but Nadine Sutherland, I'm in Love. My dad used to take us for beach rides, and we'd be in the car with the windows blowing our hair down, eating Dunkin' Donuts and little minis, playing that song on repeat. And so that is like my mantra. I love that song. I want to play it at my wedding. I'm in love.
Yeah.
I was gonna go like 40s, 50s, but there's a song that I always go to, and it's called "Is This Love" by Chris Brown.
Oh, I love that song.
Oh my gosh,
that song is so beautiful. Denisha, I know you love that girl.
I would say "We Are the World."
Ooh, We Are the World.
Willie.
I'm done. I don't know. I have so many favorite songs, but right now what's coming to me is "What's Love Got to Do?"
Got to do with it. Ooh, that's mine too.
What's love?
See, she's this side. There you go.
Emotion.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with that right now.
Okay, I'm with you.
But yeah, so put y'all thoughts in the comments and join us back on POV right now.
Welcome back. We have some interesting conversations lined up. Let's get into one of my favorites, Girlfriend's Guide. Babies degrees over bachelor's degrees? Let's talk about it. Scott Yenner, a political appointee of Ron DeSantis, has stirred up controversy by arguing that colleges are steering families away from traditional family roles by encouraging careers over motherhood. So do y'all agree with this? Do you believe that women should prioritize starting families over getting a higher education? In my opinion, it's giving Handmaid's Tale, but where y'all at with it?
I think this is dumb.
I read the report, not the report, but what Ron DeSantis literally said. He said we should be teaching young women that they should be having children and not going to school. I don't.
Like why? Like why? Like,
I think
did he have a reason?
I think if young women want to have children, that's fine. But to rob them of the opportunity of getting a college education, I don't think we should be doing that.
Yeah, I think it's steering.
I think you can still teach.
Like, how are
that
they
you
taking
want-
care of these kids? Hello?
Hello?
They're
taking care of the kids by TikTok videos?
The universities do not teach you how to take care of kids. We know that through history, and we have seen that the pipeline with the school system was actually created to enslave individuals. So the school system in itself, universities included, is not there to help save us or do anything. But I do agree you can do both. You can prioritize your family and go to school if that is your choice. But we do have parents who are having children, which I think is talking about only the women who are with children, not just women in general, but women with children who saying, I'm going to school, I got to have somebody to watch my kids, I need to do my school. I think that it can be both, but we do need a nuclear family restored back to the United States.
Okay, now back up just a second, Willie. You said that the school system was created to enslave.
Yeah, listen.
Explain.
Look at the prison system and look at how the education system was set up. From the ringing of the bell to the school buses to the meals that they give the kids. From the time you go to school, you are taught to be enslaved in your mind that someone is teaching you, and whatever they tell you to do, that's what you have to do in society.
Is this not America, though? Is that not what we're supposed to go through? Is that not what we're supposed to go through? Is that not what we're taught? You're supposed to go to school up until high school, and you don't have to continue your education to college, but you do have to go to school pre-K to 12th grade. So up in between that time, if your parent works, however long that they work, where are you getting your education from, whether it's deemed to be true or false information?
I'm going to tell you that most of the successful individuals who have ever been in politics, ever been attorneys, all had something called classical education. They never learned the same thing that we learned in public school. Never. Even the people who was presidents were self-taught attorneys when it was allowed to be. So the education
was that
system,
after they got out of the normal education system and then they self-taught themselves whatever they learned?
Okay, so I want to know, how do we feel about this Handmaid's Tale-like mission that they're pushing? That's what I want to know, because my motivation, I feel like Ron DeSantis is maybe pushing this agenda because not enough white
women
babies are being born. Exactly. That's what it is for me. So
That's
I'm trying to figure out what grade should they drop out. Is it first grade to start having the baby?
Oh my God.
12th grade. Where's he going with this? What you think, Willie?
I do not think that's what Governor. I'm sorry, I cannot. I do not think that's what Governor DeSantis is saying. He's talking about
12th grade, 18.
Have you seen Handmaid's Tale?
He said young women.
Okay. Do y'all remember the times when all women were known for was making babies and being housewives? Because it's giving them back to that, but they want us to have the baby. I ain't hearing nothing say nothing about the wife now. So what, you just had a baby?
Yeah. How does that look in the church, Willie?
We got questions.
Yeah, I cannot.
How does that look in the church? If these supposed to be people of the land and people of God, how are they going to be governed by someone like that who's telling them, oh, you are a young woman, you have whatever you have, you should have a baby.
Now,
you should not be smart.
But if you haven't, now listen, we have to look at this again with the school, who also going to pay for that education. Most of those individuals that have to go to school have to be on some kind of government
But aren't
system.
taxpayers going to pay for the baby?
Hello.
But do we need that? We already have an issue with the welfare
How is
system
she going to take care of it? Is she Dumb as a brick because she ain't got no education.
Your education doesn't stop you from being an entrepreneur. It doesn't stop you from
but a
everything
child
has changed.
could stop you from doing those things because
It
you have to be with that
cannot.
child.
There was a woman with 5 kids that did everything she had to do. She worked her way up. Then she went to school when those kids became of age.
We
That is
don't
1 in
think
100.
everybody should be 5 kids, single woman, resilient.
But you should be resilient.
And what a man gonna be? When
You
he doing
should be
that?
smart.
I don't know. He was
Don't get up
talking to
there
the
and listen
women.
to Willie or listen to that stupid governor. Don't listen to them. You should be smart. You should go to school, and if that is your governor, you should move.
If you are passionate
that's
about
our
being
governor.
parents,
What we gonna
I'm smarter than that. I'm smarter than that. So you should be smarter than that.
She done sent us away. Lord help us.
I told you I'm going to the UK. Y'all think I'm playing.
Oh, you gonna be over there with Ellen?
I'm going to have another governor.
No,
because this ain't it.
Her house got destroyed, so Ellen don't even have over in the UK.
But her house got destroyed in the UK.
Yeah, that house was destroyed. There's something that came through it that was destroyed right when she
Was it a
getting ready to
fire?
move.
Say it was a fire. Lord, okay. We're gonna switch things up a bit and move into unpopular opinions. Let's dive into a story that's already shaking up 2025. Willie, this is your area. You the one that's teaching us all about politics. But I don't know about everybody else but me. Donald Trump's criminal conviction in New York. Last year, he faced 34 counts of falsifying business records over a hush money payment, amongst other things. But this week, he walked away with an unconditional discharge, meaning no fines or prison time. So what's the real story here? Unfortunately, we couldn't get him to fight the fires for $1. But is this a win for the system? Some might call it justice, and others might call it a cover-up. You tell us what we should be calling it.
Please share with our
Listen.
family at home, Willie.
Listen, the way the system works, we already know the person who was the judge absolutely hates Trump. But he also knows the backfire that he was going to get in that. I believe that he made a decision because
For the check?
He is well.
Hello.
Cut a check.
Also,
Hello.
also, he is already passed. Now, this was a decision made prior to him being certified by the Senate and going through all that process. I believe it may have been different, but he is certified.
I bet he got a
It is put into the who got a Cybertruck?
I bet the judge got a Cybertruck now, and all his kids got Teslas.
I bet the judge got a check.
Okay.
Oh Lord, he was already getting a check. But I would say this, that is the right decision to make because this is the highest office in the land, and any other decision was going to cause just mass chaos. Sometimes we have to draw with honey and not vinegar, and I think this would have been one of those type of situations.
Okay, so you don't believe that Trump should be held accountable for anything?
No.
I did not say he shouldn't be
I'm
held
asking.
accountable for anything. I'm just saying that in accountability, we have a system. The judge just ruled and the system just spoke.
I believe the judge was compromised.
Well, I mean,
Right. Do you honestly feel like Trump avoided jail time because he was innocent, or do you think it was because of his status?
I believe it was both.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you for keeping it G.
That's fair.
I believe
Okay.
it was both.
Let me turn my chair back.
I think that.
that's your president, ain't it?
I think that I'm Bigley. I think that.
Big league.
Y'all go. I'm through. Y'all have a good one.
How does this outcome affect the public's trust in the justice system? Do we have any?
No.
Do you trust the system? Do you?
No, I know the system is corrupt with
Okay.
that. I mean, I've had issues myself with the system, so I'm not a person that's getting up here and saying it's not. But what I would say is I think just like any other news state, this thing is got swept under the rug already. Everything is focused on these wildfires and everything else. So nothing is really like sticking like that. Everything is all of the major things we see out there from him to this. And even when January 20th comes, he gets inaugurated. You give that a whole week. After that, everybody's back to normal.
What is normal?
I think people, the fact that they voted him into office, considering that he was potentially a convicted felon, they trust that man.
To just be a face for entertainment. I just feel like he's just a face for entertainment. Like
hoping he can
Kamala
bring
wasn't
back
going to be able to
PPP.
carry the way that he can because his face is already in entertainment, whether it be good or bad or whatever. the president is just a face. Like, there are so many other things that come into
You
it.
really need to tell the rest of the world that. The rest of this
The government
United
is
States,
just the face.
Well, we know, I mean, the president does not have that type of authority. It is Congress that actually votes and do things. I mean, no one said nothing when he was just up there and VP Harris was rolling her eyes because he was talking to Obama. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, it's politics.
Yeah.
And so politics is going to be politics. I've been in it since I was 14. I can tell you, you have the same people on the congressional floor arguing and debating, and then they'll go eat a steak dinner that night with each other and might be sleeping with each other before they get back in on the stage.
100%.
That's just, it's politics.
My concern is that Trump can get away without serving any jail time or having any repercussions for his actions. What is it good that you think we have to look forward to?
Nothing.
I know, Willie, I want you to know. It's your president. What you think? Like, I guess we'll see.
I think that if you actually look back, they said that they were holding some of these things till after the 4 years. And so we'll just look, I think that they wanted to get past 4 years. They tried.
They're going to put this man in office, and then 4 years later, he could die in between that time. And then they're going to try to lock him up after he done already served his time, maybe made some other deals and did whatever he needed to do.
Many of them need to be locked up.
This is
Clinton
a wrap
needs to be
for
locked up.
today's
Hillary
show,
needs to be locked
we're going to go and go and go. But you guys know we always love to leave you with the daily affirmation on a lighter note. Today's is, I leave what no longer serves me in the past. We waiting to see if Trump gonna serve us, but you know,
I think
it's
for the
coming on.
Hallelujah. Bless the Lord. Bless the Lord.
Thank you so much for tuning in and spending time with us. You can catch Point of View right here weekdays only on Afro TV.
See y'all.